this is where we have landed. Such a crazy scenario that we've come to see Xbox, man. The thing is, let me tell you who I blame. I blame the journalists. I blame the influencers. I blame the fans. I blame all of the people who every time Microsoft decided to make a bad decision, they decided to damage control and push said bad decision. That's who I blame. They could have simply been honest. They all felt the exact same way that we were feeling about the scenario, but they were too much of fanboy shields. And it's funny because the people who are the biggest fanboys are always the people using the word fanboy. Oh, you're a fanboy, you're a fanboy, you're a fanboy. I mean, I'm talking about they be out here gulping that corporate cock. I'm talking about they got two hands twisting and turning on that corporate fucking cock. And then they got the nerve to turn around after you just watch them suck corporate cock and be like, oh, well, you're just a shill. You're just a fanboy. You're just a shill and a fanboy. That's what the fuck happens every fucking time. Every time that's what happens. And the thing is, it's weird because you got some people who call these people out, and then you got others who totally ignore what these folks are doing. I mean, they are the biggest hypocrites in the world. These are the people who will call you a fanboy and then go sit on a fanboy podcast fanboying. This is exactly what they would do. Again, they never sit with the people who gonna call them out. They sit with people who have the same bullshit ass agenda that they have. I remember one person who I'm not gonna name who that person is, but I'm pretty sure you guys have heard this. This particular person says, hey, I'm doing this because I'm looking to get a job in the industry. So he would sell his soul without even working in the industry on behalf of the industry to a fan base that was built based off the industry. And again, for some fucking reason, they can never see that they are exactly what they talk about. They can never see that they are the person that they're trying to warn everybody about. This shit does not help anybody. Microsoft laying off people don't help anybody. They have been quiet because they don't even know what narrative to push right now. They don't know how to reflect on what the fuck is happening right now. They don't know what their next move is going to be because they are so used to just following whatever the corporation says. Whatever their handlers tell them, they get right on it like it's a paid mission. Like it's a paid mission. Like, to be honest with you, man, like, just looking at what's happening to the industry, bruh, that shit don't make me happy, dog. You know, they laugh and joke like when Concord got shut down and shit like that, right? That was the talk of the town. That's all you ever see these nut ass niggas bringing up, right? But then they're not looking at the ramifications of everything in totality, right? We don't win because Microsoft is on this hell-bent chase to the bottom. At this point, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think Microsoft give a fuck about existing. I think Microsoft is trying to make the industry implode because they can't get the grip that they want on the industry. So they're like, fuck it. If we can't get what we want, we'll take this whole shit down. We'll take this whole shit down. Nigga, they bought up the biggest publishers in the fucking world and then started laying people off. Like, what? Like, by the time they finish with these companies, by the time they finish with these development teams, there's gonna be nothing left. There's not gonna be anything left. I mean, honestly, I feel for the people that actually like COD, but it's definitely, keep fucking around. Keep letting Microsoft run this shit at the helm. People keep saying, let me tell you the excuse that people are using, which is why I don't understand this. I can't for the life of me understand how this is an excuse. Oh, well, Microsoft is a $4 trillion company. Yes, but they are a terrible gaming company. All of their other ventures seem to be working out nicely for them. It's gaming that is not. It's gaming that's not. Sorry. It doesn't matter how much you want to look at it. Like I told y'all give Microsoft props for the games that they put out, but those games were only put out because they bought up the teams that were making them. You got stupid motherfuckers when Microsoft was trying to buy ABK, and y'all remember this. They were like, oh, Microsoft buying ABK is just going to be better for everybody else. Everybody is going to get to benefit from more games being in more places. Nigga, as soon as they closed the deal, they shut the mobile games down. They shut down the Call of Duty mobile game as soon. Nigga, it was less players. It was less players, brother man. Not only that, everywhere the game was is where it was gonna be anyway. With Microsoft or not, it was where it was going to be anyway. That's what I do not understand about you stupid motherfuckers. That's what I do not understand about the clown car that has all the fucking clowns jumping out it. All the Destin Legarys, all the fucking Paris Lilies, all of the goddamn Tom Warrens, all of these stupid motherfuckers that try to convince you that a ROG Ally is a goddamn Xbox. It is a PC gaming device. It is not a console. It can't even play the games from the goddamn Xbox family. But these same stupid motherfuckers that helped kill Xbox, because that's all they did. They didn't help Xbox. If they wanted to help Xbox, they would have told Xbox the truth. Every time they sat in these rooms with these big corporate talking heads, they would have told these motherfuckers the truth. They would not have sat up here, pretended like they're gamers, because that's what they do. They pretend like they're gamers. Every time they talk about games, oh yeah, well my daughter, she loves gaming. My daughter, she loves gaming, so I bought her an Xbox Series S and got her Game Pass. Fucking idiot. Fucking idiot with this Game Pass evangelist stupid shit. If game companies don't make money, they are not going to make games. I don't know why y'all don't understand that concept. I don't know why y'all don't understand the concept that in a economy like this, in a scenario like this, where we have just made an $80 billion acquisition and like an $8 billion acquisition, and yeah, now we're trying to fix the books. But instead of you guys seeing that they purchased all of these publishers that come along with all of these development teams, instead of y'all supporting them in their journey, y'all decided, oh, well, this is just more games for me to pay on Game Pass. This is more games for me to play on Game Pass. Oh, and when I play it on Game Pass, I'm not gonna pay the fee that they want. I'm gonna try and get it at a different price. I'm gonna try to get it at the cheapest price that I possibly can, because I want to feel like I got over on the company. That's what I want to do. And then the company starts looking at the books. Y'all should have knew y'all was in trouble when every time they come out with Game Pass numbers, they're telling you about PC growth. You console niggas, you Xbox niggas should have known that something was wrong, because the console itself was not maturing. It was not bringing people in, even with Game Pass, even with all the things that you claim to offer, which one of the number one things that I kept saying, and I couldn't understand it for God knows what, is everybody kept saying, oh, ABK is gonna now put all of their games in fucking in Game Pass. And then I thought to myself, I said, dog, what games do ABK make? What games do they own that they can make that they could put in this service for you? And then I started thinking about it. I'm like, Crash, nigga, you mean to tell me you haven't bought and played Crash at this point, that you was waiting for them to put it in the service? All right, player. Or better yet, y'all was begging them to put old Call of Duties in Game Pass. Why, nigga? You don't want to play them old ass games. If you did, you would have had a goddamn Xbox One, or you would have had a goddamn Xbox 360 and those old games that were actually on physical fucking disc, and you would still be playing the hell out of it. Nigga, you want us to believe because they put these old ass games in Game Pass that you all of a sudden gonna love them, download them, and play them? Get the fuck out of here, bro. Let me be the first to tell you, having access to a whole bunch of games doesn't mean you're gonna play a whole bunch of games. It doesn't. It just means that you're gonna be more undecided when you're going through that list and you're thinking about all the shit that you don't give a fuck about playing. You're gonna look at the games that are in Game Pass, which isn't that much, and you're gonna understand to yourself that you don't want to play this as much as you think you do. I'm sorry, it is. It just is what it is. To me, I think it's better if you look at something, you think you're gonna like it, buy that shit and play it to your heart's content. The less you pay for things, the less you value those things that you pay for. Unfortunately, it's true. It's true. You can argue with your mama. I don't give a damn. If y'all notice, all these people who pay for Game Pass to play games, they don't give a fuck about the industry. They don't give a fuck about the developers. They don't care what went into it. All they care is that they put it in this service. They don't care about no other aspect of the industry, which you gotta know what you're getting yourself into to know what you're setting yourself up for. Y'all really sat here and listened to Colt Eastwood give y'all all these bloated ass numbers that don't account for any of the games that they gotta pay for and all of that. And y'all chalk that shit up to, oh, if we could get 30, 40, 50 million of these, oh, we'll be making 8, 10, 20 billion dollars. And I'm like, dog, please stop. Please fucking stop. And the thing is, the fact that some of y'all actually believe that truly blows my mind. It truly blows my mind because y'all know the streaming services and shit that y'all have. And I'm not comparing Game Pass to these streaming services. I'm only comparing it to the point of, you have a streaming service. Let's say there's nothing you want to stream on the service. You're going to cancel that subscription. You're going to cancel that subscription until you see something you want to fucking watch again. And then you'll pay for it again. With me, it's HBO Max. Nigga, I got HBO Max just to watch The Last of Us, and as soon as I finished the season, I canceled the subscription. I no longer have HBO Max, bro. It is what it is. It is what it is. Y'all niggas gonna turn on Game Pass, realize y'all don't want to play none of them fucking games in Game Pass. It's gonna come time for you to renew that goddamn Game Pass subscription, and you gonna be like, maybe I'll wait until one of the bigger games come out, and then I'll get it again. Cause I can't for 1 second fathom that you guys are really staying subscribed to this service. If you was, I feel like they would give us more accurate numbers about Game Pass and how many subscribers they have and how many people are constantly. No, they barely give you numbers. They barely give you updates. They give updates to the shareholders. They don't even share that shit with the actual community of people, bro. They don't share that shit with their gamers, bro. Because y'all niggas are not consistent at all. Y'all not. You know how long they've been saying that Game Pass has been about 30, 35 million or whatever? They've been saying that shit for years. They had a goal of hitting 100 million subscribers. Do you ever think they're gonna hit 100 million subscribers? Do y'all really think that they're gonna be able to continue to sustain this Game Pass lifestyle for y'all, where y'all niggas are just leeches? Y'all are just leeches. I mean, I'm just saying, you don't own anything. You don't own anything. You don't own nothing. You're renting. You're renting digital assets. And then some of y'all are so stupid that not only are y'all renting digital assets, but then y'all niggas are buying DLC content for the digital assets that you're renting. Bruh, I've never seen a stupider set of people in my life. I'm sorry. This is just where we are. We've tried to warn y'all. You've heard me say it. You've heard Thrash say it. You've heard Bari say it. You've heard other people out there telling y'all how detrimental this Game Pass shit is gonna be to Xbox, and y'all niggas did not want to listen. Y'all thought that this was pro-consumer. Everything that is cheap is not pro-consumer. These ecosystems need to be able to sustain themselves. These companies are looking to make profit. They're not looking to break even, bro. They don't listen. I know y'all don't listen. But they don't care if you're playing their game. They say they do, but they don't. They don't care that you're just playing their game. I'm sorry. Developers will say this. They will tell you this to your face. Thank you for playing our game. That's what they will say. They'll say, thank you for playing our game. But I can guarantee you 1000%, those people don't give a fuck that you just played and experienced their game. They're happy that you supported the game. Hopefully you bought the game. The numbnuts that put their games into Game Pass or even PlayStation Plus. I'm not just gonna even just say Game Pass. I'm gonna say Game Pass, PlayStation Plus, whatever, right? When they start looking at these numbers and that shit don't add up, when they're barely recouping the development costs, that's not good. That is not good. Just because you played the game and experienced the game doesn't mean that that's what these developers wanted. I remember talking to the Days Gone dude. I forgot what his name was. I think it was Jeff Rocket or whatever the fuck his name was. And shout out to him. Cool, real cool dude. But he said this same fucking nonsense. He said the same nonsense about Game Pass, and he loves the idea, and he just wants people to play, and anybody who, isn't gonna buy the game, wasn't gonna buy the game anyway. That is a loser fucking mentality. That is a loser fucking mentality. Saying that people who weren't gonna buy the game were not gonna, and hold on. I'm not saying that he's completely wrong. But at the same time, bro, you can't say you don't care about all of this shit and you just want people to experience the game, but then they spent the rest of about 2 years crying about Sony and how they wanted to do a Death Stranding 2. I'm sorry, a Days Gone 2. They spent the next year or two crying everywhere they could about wanting to do a Days Gone 2, but not understanding that it takes money, it takes profit, it takes good sale. But you're telling people that, hey man, if you were gonna steal the game, you're gonna steal it anyway, bro. You can't have that mentality and be in business, bro. Again, everything that businesses do does not have to be pro-consumer. I'm sorry. Everything that businesses do not have to be in the interest of the consumer. You as a consumer, if you want something, then you should be willing to pay for whatever it is that you want. There's a synergy that is there. It doesn't make it automatically pro-consumer because they decide to give you something. You know how many fucking keys I get for games? Bro, I get so many keys for games. I don't even know why they still sending them to me. Half them shits I don't even fucking play. I'm gonna start giving them shits away, bro. That's what I'm gonna start doing. I'm gonna start giving them shits away. Bro, just because you get something for free doesn't make it good. It doesn't make it pro-consumer either. You know what I've noticed? The people who get shit for free, all they want is more free shit. They then make it their shit. They then make it their mission to get more free shit. That's what it all becomes. It becomes, how can I get more free stuff? Oh, this company is definitely pro-consumer. Thank you so much for sending me the collector's edition of this. Thank you so much for sending me a review copy of that. Like, fuck you. Fuck you. Excuse my language, but I'm sorry. That's the only thing that I have seen in this goddamn community is they'll get one thing for free and keep begging for free shit. I've seen it in the VR portion of this community. I've seen it in just the regular games of this community. I've seen reviewers get mad because they can't get a review copy. Bitch, you don't want to play this game. You don't want to play this game. If you're not willing to fucking buy this game, you never wanted to fucking play it. Like, dog, I've never seen, I hate what this shit has become. I hate that everything is so social. I hate that these developers are so accessible to the point that they are now, because I don't give a fuck about getting to know a developer, bro. I don't want to be friends with you. I don't want you to have the perception that I'm always going to say positive things about you either. Like, I just don't want that relationship with any development team, with any corporation, with none of that. I don't want any of that. If I can't tell you how I truly feel, then you keep your shit. You keep your game. If I can't tell you how I truly feel, then I don't want whatever it is that you're offering. If I have to say something positive, if there's guidelines to how I have to review something, I don't want it. I don't want it. But we now have a group of people that all they care about is getting free shit. They think that their audience is so important that developers better give them something free or they'll have their audience attack them. And I've seen this shit in real time. I'm telling y'all, I don't know what's wrong with the internet. The internet must be broken. It must be broken. Like I said, I already think that we in a different fucking universe. I already think that we done jumped the timeline and we are not on the same fucking path that we was previously, dog. Because in a very short period of time, a whole bunch of things changed and this world doesn't even feel the same anymore. But I'm just, I am of the ilk. I came from the days of, you know, you support the things that you like, right? You support the things that you like. When we got to this point where everybody in the gaming community just started getting so entitled, like everywhere you look, they have some sort of entitlement. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't like the kiss asses either, though. I don't like the people that always are trying to be in the mix with people that they don't know. Like, let me give you an example. I hate people that talk to these developers like they know them, like they've sat around the dinner table with them and you know, their wife has cooked food, like they know their entire family. You know, they shake hands with their grandpas and shit like that. Those people, they irk the fuck out of me. The fake politically correct people, I hate you niggas too. I hate you niggas that put up on, y'all have put up a front. You will go out of your way to not say the things that you really want to say because you don't want to affect your political connects. Fuck you and your political connects. Bruh, I'm one of the few people that I don't look for or need that sort of recognition. I just want to be true to what the fuck that I'm being true to. That's it. And again, if you are surprised by the things that are going on at Xbox, if you are surprised at the studios that were closed, they closed down the initiative. To be honest with you, I still don't even know if the initiative is even a real studio. I truly and truly do not know if the initiative is even a real studio. I mean, we saw the vertical slice that they showed us with Perfect Dark. And by the way, Perfect Dark did look low-key lit. But I'm not crying over the fact that the game was canceled. I am disappointed that the studio was closed. But at the end of the day, I think they purchased them back in like 2018, bruh. They purchased them in 2018, and 7 years later, them niggas still don't have a complete product. I would have probably closed their ass too. I would have probably closed them too. I'm sorry. I probably would have. Bro, 7 years and you still don't have a product to release? Do y'all realize Kojima came out, went through Sony Studios, saw the engine that they liked, and he had Death Stranding out in like 3 to 4 years. He had the original Death Stranding out in 3 to 4 years, from beginning to fucking end. From beginning to fucking end. So you mean to tell me Kojima has put out 2 complete products and you still have none? You still have none? You still don't have anything to put out to the fans. Bro, we brought in a whole other team of developers to help y'all. Crystal Dynamics. They brought in a whole goddamn other development team and still couldn't get the product out. So no, I'm not mad. I'm not mad that the game was canceled. I'm not even mad. I'm truthfully not even mad that they closed the studio down. Because one thing y'all gotta stop doing is just looking at this from a consumer aspect, and also realize that there is a business component to this. Understand that there's a business component to this, and y'all have to respect that business component as much, if not more, than you respect the consumer component. As a consumer, you get to make the choice whether or not you buy the product or not. As a business, they have to fund and put the project out. Shout out to Board Country, appreciate the $5 super chat. He say, I'm at the 90% mark now. Damn good games, eat time. I was late for work, bro. Troy Baker, 10 out of 10 so far. Hey, I ain't saying nothing about Death Stranding 2. I know exactly what the fuck you talking about, though, Board Country. And I'm telling you, by the time you finish the game, you're gonna be like, holy shit. Because even when you finish the game, you ain't finished with the game. Even when you finish with the game, you are not finished with the game. The game is fucking amazing. Shout out to CFix, $4.99 iPhone user. I still wouldn't be surprised if the next Xbox get canned. There is no next Xbox. There is no next Xbox. I'm telling y'all right now, that what y'all think is an Xbox is going to be a mini PC. That is all it is. It's going to be the equivalent of a Steam box. It is going to be a PC-centric device that may or may not allow you to play Xbox games. So again, let's be clear. They're not firing these people for no reason. They're firing them because they don't need them. They laid off about 50% of their user research team. Hold on, let's back up. They fired about 50% of their user research team. Nigga, they are saying so much and nobody seems to be picking up on that. They're saying a lot without saying a lot, and y'all still ain't picking up on that. I mean, I'm sorry, it is what it is, but y'all have to open y'all eyes. Y'all have to look at what's right in front of y'all. Y'all have to understand, I mean, truly understand that Microsoft is transitioning. They are transitioning out of the console space while tricking their consumers that they are still participating in the console space. They are not. They are not. They are not. They are trying to give you the idea that the next Xbox is going to be powered by AMD, and because you can't change the parts in it, clearly that makes it a console, right? Wrong. It's going to be a consolidated version of Windows. It is going to be a box that you will buy that will already be put together. It's going to have multiple stores on it. The fact that they have multiple stores on it should say a lot to you as well. Because if I have the ability to buy a game on Steam or buy the shit on Xbox, why in the fuck am I gonna buy it on Xbox? Please, enlighten me. Enlighten me. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Damn, already? Sheesh. Hold on. Give me a second. Oh shit, I'm breaking up? Oh no, don't tell me that. Hold on, give me a second. Let me actually listen to myself for a second. Cause I definitely don't want to do that. I definitely don't want to be around this bitch breaking up. And if I need to fix it, I'd rather fix it earlier. So people who don't actually watch it live and watch it on the playback, you know. Hold on. All right, let's see. There we go. Oh nah, that's on you, Forsaken. I am not breaking up, brother. I just listened through my my iPhone, cause I'm an iPhone user. Hey. All right, cool. But yeah, like I was saying, man, the reason why all of this stuff is happening is because of the consumers. Now, don't get me wrong. What people are going to say, and they are absolutely right in saying this, I'm not arguing against it, but there is more to it, is that they're going to say that Microsoft created Game Pass. Microsoft is the one who put Game Pass out there for the users to utilize it. So how are you going to be mad at the consumers when all they did is, you know, go for what Microsoft was putting out there? Because as a consumer, you should have had the wherewithal to know just because something is cheap doesn't make it good. That's why. You know what I've learned in the marketplace, right? In the marketplace, it doesn't matter what it is that you're buying. I never go for the cheapest thing. Never at any point in time. If I see something, let me just give you an idea. If I'm going to buy a desk, right? And I see a desk that costs $115, right? But then there's another desk for $149. I'm usually gonna go for the desk that costs $149 because it's a reason why it's not as cheap as the desk that's $110, $115. I'm just saying, I never go for the cheapest shit because it's cheap for a reason. Shout out to Twisted Sin, $2. Android or PC user research team equals tools. Well, here's the thing. I don't think it equals the tools. It's definitely hold on, give me 1 second. Give me un momento. So here's what the user research team is, as per Google AI. Shout out to Google AI. A group of professionals focused on understanding user behavior, needs, and motivations to inform the design and development of products and services. That's just to give you a quick breakdown. But if I'm a company and I don't really give a fuck, now hold on. If I don't give a fuck about understanding user behavior, that's because I don't need to understand the user behavior. I'm sorry. What does that mean? What does that mean? I don't need to put money into this anymore. I don't need to understand I don't need to understand your behavior. I don't need to understand your needs and motivations, because the reason why I would need to know that is because I'm trying to sell you a product that I am creating. If I'm not creating the product, then I really don't give a fuck about understanding your behavior. I don't need to understand what's gonna bring you in. I don't need to understand what's gonna keep you here. I don't need to understand any of that, First of all, I'm moving towards being a third-party publisher. I just want to be able to sell my shit everywhere. That's what I want. I want to be able to sell my shit everywhere. I want to be able to go from platform to platform. I don't need to understand user behavior no more. I don't need to understand what your motivations is for buying a console, because I don't care where you play my games. I don't care what platform you're on. I'm bringing my games everywhere. I don't need to understand you per se anymore, because I am not trying to buy you any hardware. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to sell you any hardware. For real. I am throwing out an idea and hoping that you bite. If you do, it doesn't matter to me, because it's not a loss to me. It's not a loss to me if you decide that you don't want to buy this Asus ROG Xbox Ally, whatever you want to call it. That's on Asus to figure that out. It's on Asus to figure out how this shit is going to be marketed, because it's on them to make this product. Which, again, why in the fuck would I buy an Xbox branded Ally? It's the same as the goddamn MetaQuest. Why do I need a Xbox branded MetaQuest? Why do I need a MetaQuest, which is already out there, that has an Xbox logo on it, when I don't even want to buy an Xbox with an Xbox logo on it? I mean, why? Why? They're trying to say the perk is you're getting this Xbox branded device. There are other devices that are the exact same device on the fucking market that you can go and purchase right now. You can go purchase it right now. Ain't nobody stopping you. Ain't nobody stopping you. Go get it from the store right now. Go and buy your Asus ROG Ally right now. Go get it. You'll be able to put the Steam client on your shit. What? Well, you can put the Steam client on a little handheld PC. What? What? Shout out to Anonymous Boss. He said, I got 3 words. It's over 9,000. Hey, Vegeta was scared as hell, boy. It's over 9,000. Hey, shout out to Dragon Ball Z, my nigga. Hey, yo, I swear, that's where anime be getting me, dog. That's where anime be getting me, dog. Some of the expressions and shit that they be having on their face, dog, that shit be killing me, bro. And that one is classic. That one is legendary. The it's over 9,000, I'm sorry. I don't think that will ever be beat, dog. That nigga was scared shitless, dog. You can see it in his eyes, nigga. And Goku was just sitting there like, yeah, nigga. Goku was like, yeah, I put my dick on the table, nigga. What's up? What's up? You ready to fight? I'll tell you, bro. But you want me to tell you one thing about Asians, then I'm gonna get back to it. One thing I'll tell you about Asians, bro, is all of their characters, their main protagonists, they are all the same. They want to fight for the sake of fighting. They want to fight because they just want to push themselves harder and harder. Nigga, there is not even a purpose. Let me tell you, by the end of Dragon Ball, what was it? Dragon Ball Super? Or whatever it was? The one when I guess Goku died and they were all battling, trying to save the Earth, and they had the little twins and all of that shit. By the end of that shit, it was just all about, it was all for nothing, dog. It was all about just wanting to fight for the sake of fighting, bruh. It was, like, I feel like around episode, because Dragon Ball been going on for a long ass time, bro. By the time we got to the end, it was just like, why? It was just like, why? Why did we do all of this? How did we get here to the point where we're just fighting from different fucking universes and shit at this point? But shout out to them, man, because even to this day, man, as an adult, man, as a pretty much a 40-year-old man, bro. I still love Dragon Ball Z, man. Still one of my favorites. And you know what's funny? They're actually bringing back one of my other favorite animes, which is Ronin Warriors. I am just ecstatic about that. Shout out to my man Anonymous Boss. $10 Android user. Yo, sick, those bots are all over PlayStation channels now with soccer cams pretending to be PlayStation fans. Come on now, I peeked through the bullshit. What we doing here, sick? Hey, bruh, I'm gonna tell you, man, I've seen soccer accounts with soccer accounts. At this point, bruh, it's like sockception, nigga. Like, it's like sockception, bro. Like, I be taking a look at some of these accounts and they all follow the same people. Like, I've seen accounts that I know is another person, because a lot of the times you can't fake the way you write things, right? The way you come off on things, the way the grammatical errors that you have, like, you can't fake that, right? You can fake the account, but you can't fake how you type. I think it would take a lot more time. Bro, I really would like to say that there are some people who have full-blown conversations with themselves and they be right under your tweet. They be right under your tweet, and they be going back and forth with themselves. Like, I've seen this before. At this point, I just feel like something is wrong. At this point, I just feel like something mentally is fucked up in their minds, because there's no way I'm creating a whole bunch of soccer accounts, dog. I just ain't got it in me. I ain't got it in me, bruh. I ain't got it in me, dog. I'm gonna just keep it real. Shout out to Amun-Ra. He say, hit that fucking like button. Yeah, please. Hit that like button, man. Come on, guys. At least pretend to like me for today. Oh, man. But here's the thing. Initiative is gone. But there is a lot more stuff that's happening, though. It ain't just the initiative, man. Unfortunately, it's a lot more than just the initiative. They even canceled Everwild. Now, here's the thing. I can't even pretend to care about Everwild because I truly didn't. As a matter of fact, I kind of forgot about Everwild. I kind of forgot about that shit. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I kind of forgot about it because they showed this shit a long ass time ago and we haven't really seen anything since then. Hold on. God damn it. Wow, that's loud. Turn this shit down. God damn.
Our world has a rhythm.
So now I gotta ask, I wonder who Xbots are going to blame for this. Who are Xbots gonna blame for this? Because remember, they tried blaming, what was that dude from Platinum Game? Hideki something? Whatever, the guy from Platinum Games. Remember, they blamed him for Scalebound. So now that this has nothing, Hideki Kamiya, that's his name? Yeah, okay. Who they gonna blame for this? This was all Microsoft. This was all Microsoft and old Rare.
And in moments of stillness.
So my question is, who do we blame for this?
It teaches us to look beyond.
Do we say it's Rare fault? Do we say it's Rare fault? Because we can't give Rare credit for Sea of Thieves and then be like, oh nah, Rare is terrible. That's why Everwild didn't come out. Like, nah, are they good or are they not? Once again, I didn't really care for this game so much, and I'm pretty sure it would have been a multi-plat anyway. I didn't really care for this shit, so it doesn't really make a difference to me.
We all sense it.
I mean, this is like one of those games that you might play in an off chance and it might be cool, right? But it's not something I'd be like, yeah, man, I can't wait for that Everwild to come out. But the fans or the fanboys or whatever you want to call them, They champion everything that Microsoft do. It doesn't care. It doesn't matter what game it is. We saw these people tell you that, even after seeing the game with their own eyes, telling you that Redfall was good. They told you Redfall was good, bro. I'm sorry. We got to get to a point where subjective just doesn't work. Right? We can't keep using the excuse of it's subjective. You know, you ain't got to like it, but I like it. Nah, dog. Redfall was absolute goddamn garbage, my nigga. It was absolute fucking garbage, dog. I'm sorry, bro. As a matter of fact, I wasn't going to waste my time playing that shit, nigga. I watched Persona play that shit, and I could not understand for the life of me why he continued to play that game. I also couldn't understand the Halo thing because that was another boring ass game. But I guess but I think Persona bought those games. I hope he didn't. God, I hope he used Game Pass. I hope he used Game Pass for that shit because good Lord almighty, bro. But that's the problem. The problem is they do all the work of going in depth about why they hate everything on PlayStation, but they will not give that same courtesy to the platform that they claim to love. They will not give that. Listen, when I don't agree with something that PlayStation does, I'm going to come out and say I don't fucking agree with whatever it is that PlayStation is doing. I am not going to sit around and pretend like PlayStation is this perfect fucking company and can do no wrong, because there is shit that I can't stand about them now. Is there shit that I can't stand about them now? But you very rarely hear Xbox critique the platform that they claim that they fucking love, bro. You very rarely ever. Oh, goddamn, I didn't know you were sitting in here Forsaken. My bad, brother. My bad, bro. I just happened to push up fucking Discord and seen your ass sitting in there. Shout out to you, though, my nigga. Shout out to you. Bruh. Let me ask you Forsaken. Did you foresee what happened with Xbox happening? Did you foresee this happening? Did this come as a surprise to you? Like, we already knew that they were going to lay off at least 2,000 people because that was the rumor, right? But now that you know that Microsoft laid off 9,000 people, does that surprise you to any degree?
Nope, don't surprise me at all, because I remember when all the Activision Blizzard deal was going on, I posted on Twitter, I was like, yo, they're going to fire all of them. I say, especially when they start that AI roll-off. I was like, y'all all gone. And people were telling me, like, no, they wouldn't do that. You know, they're $1 trillion company. I'm like, yeah, but people cost money.
Yeah.
Like, it would cost me less to make you build that AI program and let that watch what you're doing, learn what you're doing, and then fire your entire department because your entire...
You know, I've been called a fanboy so many times because I would tell them the truth about the platform that they cape for. And I could never understand it in my mind, bro. I could never understand it. Listen, the difference between PlayStation and Xbox. What's up, Ghost? The difference between PlayStation and Xbox, it's vastly different, right? So, PlayStation, they still care about their console. They never pretended to not care about their console. You know what I'm saying? Xbox is trying to tell you, play wherever you want to play, brother. We just want to sell you a game. Go play it wherever you want. Play it on a Fire Stick. Play it on a Portal. Play it on a PS5. Play it on a TV. Play it on a PC. You know, play it on a fucking MetaQuest headset. But just go and buy our games. That's all.
Please play it anywhere.
Yeah, we just want to sell you some games. I mean,
everything's an Xbox.
Yeah, that. If everything's an Xbox, I said this before, nothing is a fucking Xbox.
What up, Link?
Oh, what up, Link?
Yo, what's up?
Link be sliding in. Well, I knew Link was coming for this
Link
one.
just popped it.
I knew he was coming for this one, though. But, Ghost, Let me ask you, man,
Yep.
how you feeling about the news today, man? I'm gonna tell you before I let you go here. I'm gonna tell you. I keep telling people, layoffs do not make me as a gamer feel good. I am not I am not happy about it. I am not happy about it. I understand it. But I'm not happy about it. What do you think about it?
Yeah.
What is some of the
I,
stuff that you've seen, and what do you think lies in the future of the next whatever Xbox is?
um, I'm on the same sentiment. Like, I understand it. I get it. I've been in those positions where I've had to do the same exact thing, and it's never a good. It's never, I didn't go home and was like, yeah. I fired X amount of people. It's never a good feeling. It's never. And especially in this medium where we truly enjoy gaming, we know people with common sense know what the end result will be, right? But at the same token, I think you got to realize that ABK has, or Activision has, like 13,000 employees. I think the ZeniMax has right at like 4 or 5 or maybe 6,000 employees, and so a lot of this is getting rid of redundancy, and streamlining the company. And if you're in the know, if you've been in business, you know that, yeah, you're trying to cut costs and you're trying to improve margins. Doesn't sit well with the gamers as a whole, but I understand it from the company side, so I'll play the devil's advocate. But at the same token, this is all stuff that we all said to these people, and like you said earlier in your monologue, we got called fanboys and toxic and talking about your family and everything under the sun. But at the same token, this is what Microsoft feels they need to do in order to become even more profitable, right? And in that aspect, I understand it. I'm not okay with it, because, yeah, at the end of the day, your quality will drop off. At the end of the day, your production will slow down. At the end of the day, I mean, there's so many things that will happen because of the cause of this. And once again, this is just horrible optics. Like, Xbox, Microsoft, or not, Xbox just cannot get out of their own way. They are perpetually stepping on rakes and then backing up and getting hit in the head with a shovel, then back forward and getting hit in the same rake. Like, they just keep doing this to themselves. And so any momentum or any goodwill that or good faith that this company can build for themselves, they just constantly shoot themselves in the foot. And so, um, I guess thoughts and prayers go out to the people that are now looking for jobs, and it sucks. But at the same token, like, consolidation is never good, and that goes for not only just Xbox and Microsoft, but Embrace or Tencent, on all these companies that are buying up huge swaths of the industry, and that's what comes along with it. So during the ABK trial, when everybody was, or at least on one side of the fence, where everybody was cheerleading and with the pom poms out, yeah, and for those who said this is not a good thing and this is with the end result, and then you got called everything but God's child. This is the end result, and
You
for
know,
that reason,
you
I
know
don't
what
feel
goes.
sorry for the fanboys.
I made this analogy, right? And people like, oh my God, why you want to take it there? Because it applies, right? I said,
Mhm.
in cities and neighborhoods where it's affluent, you're hard. You're never gonna really find fucked up roads and shit like that, because there's a lot of
Mhm.
tax dollars that are being contributed to the area where they live, right? But in the lesser segments where there's less money being made, you have streets that are, half patched. You have schools that are underfunded and things like that. The level of quality that you get from those places, it's going to vary depending on where you are and how much money is being put in. Everybody kept saying, no, we want this for free. We want this for free. I get to play this on Game Pass. And I'm like, but you got to think about the overall. What are you putting in to the device and the ecosystem that you love? You're not putting much in, but you want to get the world out of it. And now everything is coming crashing down because nobody understands the economics of gaming.
And it's just not gaming though. Don't
It's not.
these guys just don't understand economics. Period.
They don't.
I mean, here's the thing. Okay, so and here's an analogy, right? Like when you buy a huge swath of property, okay, land, whatever the case may be, one of the or if you consolidate and you buy a business, what's one of the first things that you do? You do a performance review and you get rid of non-productive people. You get rid of redundancies. Like if your wife is a CPA, and are you going to go hire another one? Or are you going to keep the CPA that's already, you know what I'm saying? So when you buy huge swaths of land, one of the first things that I do, to marginalize my tax revenue, is I, declare certain parts of property farm or business or industrial, right? And so I'm therefore chopping it up. You know what I'm saying? So when you buy a huge conglomerate like, Activision or ABK, you start at some point, you start looking for cuts, you know what I mean? To so that you become even more profitable. And it's just it's freshman economics at that, high school freshman economics. And the fact that people just can't grasp this because they're just caught up in their feelings.
But Ghost, during the court situation, Microsoft said, there were people on the opposite side, like Lena Khan and others, that were saying this is going to lead to, and even senators were weighing in on this, saying this would lead to massive loss of jobs, right? And Microsoft said, actually, it's going to lead to creating more jobs.
Yeah,
did Microsoft honestly believe that? No. Yeah. But do you think they really believed that?
No, I mean, I've testified on some bullshit before. You know, like I've said some wild shit. You know what I mean? But the simple fact is, Lena Khan said all that right onto the bank, right to the ATM.
No, not Lena Khan. That's you talking about the other girl, the Asian lady. Lulu.
Yeah.
Lulu Chang.
Lena Khan was the one who worked for the FTC, who was opposed.
She's part of. Yeah. So this is real talk, and I'll DM you, Sick. Lulu lives 8 houses down from me in Florida, so I'm not trying to hear none of that. Fuck out of here. She all. You know what I mean? She lives all. She laughed. She went all the way to the bank with that. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to paint yourself in the best light, no matter what. Especially when you're in those court proceedings, right? You want to make yourself look like the good guy. You're trying to get an approval from this board or from this committee, and you're going to say whatever it takes. You're going to present documents or whatever it takes. I mean, and it's just part of business, man. And for the people that didn't have the foresight to see that, like. I mean, it is what it is, man.
Let me ask you this then, Ghost, because you've heard they've been making cuts to like Raven Software to the Call of Duty teams.
Yeah, that is surprising in itself.
How does that make any sense? Because again, the stuff that they're cutting from Call of Duty, those weren't redundancies. Those were what was keeping the machine going.
Well, but if you look, this is the first time that we've had back-to-back Black Ops. Call of Duty is going to be, or whatever you want to call it, Call of Duty is going to be just that. I mean, I saw something earlier today where they had Beavis and Butthead skins. I'd be damned. You know what I mean? Like,
wait, whoa. You're just now saying I'll be damned? Wait, so Nicki Minaj wasn't enough to make you say, what the fuck?
I mean,
the Ninja Turtles?
It is what it is, man. But the real thing is that we've had back-to-back Black Ops, right? It used to be, you used to alternate it, right? You'd have a Call of Duty, then you have a Black Ops, and you have a Call. And Treyarch would build it, Raven would build it, or you know what I'm saying? And so now what you're seeing is that every year it's going to be basically when you buy the new Call of Duty, it's going to be basically DLC. That's why they have that all-in-one. The all-in-one where all the Call of Duties are in one launcher, right?
One launcher.
And that's all it's going to be every year. It's going to be like 2K, like Madden, like, you know what I'm saying?
It's going to be very iterative.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what it is, and that's what that's designed to do. And so when you have multiple, because I think they had like there's like 7 studios that make each iteration of Call of Duty, and they needed that to make every Call of Duty or Black Ops relatively different than the other one. But now it's all going to be the same, man. You're going to have, it is what it is. And I mean, writing was on the wall, man. Anybody with 2 eyeballs and a full set of teeth can see it, man.
You know, I like I said, none of this surprises me, but it also doesn't. You know, I guess some people will see this and think to themselves, okay, I'm gonna use this for like the fanboy wars or something like that, right? But they're not looking at the situation and saying to themselves, damn, a lot of people really just lost their livelihoods. You know what I mean?
A lot of people.
In a time
Yep.
where there's turmoil throughout the industry, and like I said, I'm not one that truly gives a fuck about, you know, people losing their jobs and shit like that. But when it's something that's frivolous as what's going on now, not an actual performance thing or something like that, I gotta start looking with the side eye, like, this might not be alright. Like, this might not be okay. And again, like I said, they fired whole teams. They got initiative the fuck out of here. To be honest with you, I'm not even sure if initiative really existed. I don't know if it ever really existed, bro.
Quadruple A gaming, sick.
But also understand this. Also understand this. The initiative is closed down, and they brought a whole other development team in to help these folks, and still couldn't get it done.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, that's been Microsoft, that's been Xbox's Achilles heel, man. Is you know, everyone was super loud talking these last couple months because their production was ramped up, right? But these are all games that, you know, what I mean, and I'm not going to sit there in console war or whatever the case may be, but I mean, if we're completely honest, man, like
I mean, feel free to
Avowed,
console war, because them bitch niggas
yeah, I
gonna
mean,
steal console war. But at the end of the day, I want people to know it ain't about the console war, right? Like, niggas
yeah,
still gonna make fun of bots, but
yeah,
it's the ultimate reality is that a lot of people are being dispersed, displaced, and it's not cool. It's not cool, bro. And the thing is, they're not even saying they're firing them because they did something wrong or was doing something wrong. It's just like, yeah, for us to be more profitable than what we are, we kind of got to let you go, big dog. You making too much money out here. Like, you know, and that's crazy coming from a like $4 trillion company. Ain't they like $3 or $4 trillion now?
3.7 trillion.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can round that shit off to 4.
With these cuts, they're probably gonna be 4.
But that's just what these mega corporations do. I mean, that's
Right.
the reality. I mean, unfortunately, that's the
But
reality
Ghost,
of it. I mean,
what they tell us, Ghost? Oh, they don't need to sell games. They don't need to sell consoles. They got Game Pass. That's all they need is this service. And I mean, unfortunately, I don't believe this service was able to sustain their gaming division. You know,
I mean,
and when you
Sick
got
said it.
games coming out and people not buying them, I mean that's gonna.
Yeah,
I
Sick
think you
said it
got to
right.
sell
I mean,
games.
I think Sick made a post a couple days ago, or maybe a day ago. I mean, their marketing was on. I've said it before. Their marketing is on point. Well, they powered your motherfucking dreams all day long. Like you dreamt about having a console. You dreamt about having some awesome, you know, GOTY material
Right,
games, and they
right.
sure gassed you up for that. You know what I mean? And I
This,
made a
yeah,
post earlier today. You know what I mean? And got some pretty decent traction. But it was just basically, I mean, like the journey. And I think Sick, you commented on it. Like, you know, I blame these journalists and these mouthpieces and these podcasters that when they should have been telling you the truth, right, or telling you to buy your games and don't fall for the fugazi or the cubic zirconia, and I get it. Everyone's trying to save a buck. You know what I'm saying? I get it.
yeah,
But at the same,
absolutely.
but the
Whoa, whoa,
same
whoa, whoa,
token,
whoa,
like,
whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on. That works if this was a different situation, but video games are a luxury. They are not
no,
necessities.
I'm
You don't
you
need
and I have
it.
had this talk. I agree with you 100%. But at the same token, you cannot sit there and expect, you know, like you get all these day one games and third party games go to Game Pass, and all you were paying into it is $20. And what's funny is when you challenge somebody about that $20, I
Oh, I've been called
guarantee
a
the first
fanboy for
response.
sure.
No,
For
no.
sure.
The first response is, "Oh, I got it for $10 deal. I got it for $9.99 with CD keys." I'm like, so you work the system, and they're really not making any money off you. Then, if you claim that you got this great deal like you did, and you're paid up till
Yeah.
2075, you know what I mean? Like, then
Listen,
then what? You know what I
Ghost.
mean? But
If
go
all they
ahead.
needed was a subscription, all they needed was a subscription, right? And a Game Pass sub from people. Then there'd be no reason to put these games in retail, to sell them online, to put them in their digital store, to put them on Steam, to put them on PlayStation. If they didn't need to sell games and the only thing they needed people to do was sign up for this service, then why would they put them in marketplaces where they needed to sell them?
Yep.
You know, it just
Give me
doesn't
one
make
second.
logical sense.
Give me one
Listen.
second. I gotta take this phone call.
Yeah,
Okay.
it truly.
I mean, it don't make sense, Sick. This morning, right before we were privileged to the information, we were waiting on the heads to roll. You know, I read 9,000 plus people getting laid out, right?
Yeah.
So I was, you know, I've been in Twitter space sometime, and I was predicting. I said initiative is gone, and people was like, nah, they just showed Perfect Dark a year ago at their showcase. I said, I'm telling you, the initiative is done. They're not even making Perfect Dark. It's being made by Crystal Dynamics. So what is this studio doing? I said, I don't know if Perfect Dark gonna be canceled. I said, but initiative, that shit is done. You know?
Nah,
So I wasn't
the fuck
surprised
out
when I
that
heard
game.
about them. You said what now, Sick?
They canceled the fuck out of Perfect Dark.
There wasn't no game. The video, the footage that we've seen, we've been that we've been led to believe was gameplay, which I never thought it was
Yeah, they
a
said it was fake.
video. Some
Mhm.
pre-rendered bullshit. There was no gameplay, no game there. So, and that lady's right, man. That Laura lady, the one, I think her name's Laura, the one that said she
Laura
helped
Fryer.
create the Xbox or whatever, that did a little video.
Mm-hmm.
He said Microsoft does not know how to get games out or produce projects at scale, and that's the reason why you got games like State of Decay still in development 6 years, and you haven't heard nothing about it. He said they don't know how to make
money at it would fix it.
Yeah, I mean, so
You should we should have known what time it was at the beginning of this gen. And we laughed and we joked and it was console war fodder, but you should have knew what time it was when they dropped goddamn Craig. Like that was the first indicator right there that this generation was going to be on some bullshit. How you fuck up Halo? How?
Yeah. That was funny.
I mean, yeah, we're laughing at it now, but that was the clear indicator that these dudes truly don't. Because I honestly had the PlayStation community not even started laughing and making fun of these dudes, they would have pushed Craig out in the state he was.
Yeah.
But they got ridiculed into obscurity, and they were forced to delay that game. But they were fully planning on launching Halo in the state it was because they was proud of it. We heard Phil sit there and say about Redfall, oh, it passed our internal play test, and we thought you would have scored much higher.
You know why? Because nobody likes telling Microsoft the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he was lying when he said that. I think internally, people capped for it. I think they flew
they were like, yeah, it's fire.
Mm-hmm.
This is man, you don't get out of here with that bullshit.
Who
man.
was it? It was Young, yeah. It was Paris. It was a couple of people who went out to play Redfall. Cole Eastwood, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't understand how the game was so great when you previewed it, but when you got the full build and you reviewed it, it was terrible. Something don't add up.
No, it was always
okay.
Terrible.
It was
right.
terrible.
You were just saying that so that you can make sure they keep flying you out and you get all these privileges.
But that's
not real journalism.
That's why their internal testing didn't work.
They were led astray.
Yeah, they were bamboozled
by these bullshit ass influencers who just want to keep getting flown out.
They just want to get
like these Instagram models,
getting free shit.
Getting free shit, getting access to these. Phil was just on in the Pro Xbox podcast. I saw a clip in February, and they asked him what is the game he's most excited about that hasn't released. What first party game is he most excited about? And guess what game he said?
Perfect Dark.
Everwild. He said Everwild.
Oh, Everwild.
He's so excited about what the team is working on, and he's been playing the game, and the game is coming along great. Right? How do you go from that to 4 months from now, 4 or 5 months from now, from then canceling the damn game?
I think
clearly he was lying.
He's a gamer, bro.
Didn't he say
He
he's
ain't no goddamn game.
I'm gonna keep it all the way buck. Like the reason a lot of the we'll just say the bots or the diehard loyalists, and the reason they don't they want to stay in the echo chambers, the reason why they ain't got nothing bad to say, or the reason they don't push back against Xbox at all or anything like that, is because these dudes truly do not have backlogs. They have Game Pass backlogs. Okay. And they know that, you know what I'm saying, if they stop paying or if something happens, all these games that they cap for, they love, or they enjoy, or whatever the case may be, that they lose access to them. And so that these dudes are like, I know Sick has a hell of a library. I know some of your Link, you have one. I know I have a digital library, physical library, whatever the case may be, right? So
Hell yeah.
if
Bunch of
PlayStation was
physical games, yeah.
if PlayStation was to be on some bullshit, right? And then I was like, all right, cool. I still have games. If I wanted to speak with my wallet, I'm just not gonna buy them, or you know what I'm saying, I'll figure it out. But sometimes a lot of these guys have no choice. They have no choice.
They haven't bought anything. They don't have any choice but be a slave to this bullshit.
And that's the reason why you get these goofies in here, man. I'm telling you, it's the sole reason. I guarantee, because I promise you, if they jumped the minute that Game Pass price hike comes, watch them backflip and somersault and triple gainer all the excuses for why this is a good thing. Just watch.
Oh yeah, I know they will.
I mean, I enjoy paying $35 a month. Look at all the games I get at 30.
Listen, man,
$30.
they have those. They convinced these dudes to abandon their console and their library of games to go over to PC, right? And buy it on Steam. And these dudes, it feels the Pied Piper. They do whatever he says. Okay, whatever Microsoft promoting, they go with it. They don't question it. You know, they just, it's like a cult, man.
As soon as he retires, well, I'm hiring him.
Oh,
he's gonna run my marketing department.
He getting the fuck
He's
up
gonna
out
run
of
my marketing department. He's gonna run my marketing department.
You know what the problem is? The cult is starting to wake up slowly but surely.
Mm-hmm.
I just saw King David post Xbox over everything.
He's
I think
the same
Forsaken.
person who
You guys
said
hear
all the
him?
line. Yeah, Forsaken,
No,
you're low. You're kind of low, brother.
Hey, the line, dude. He had a podcast earlier today, boy. He was up there capping and everything. He ain't going nowhere.
Nah, he
ain't
going
going nowhere.
They going down with the ship, baby. They going down with the ship.
But they not. These
They're
people
not, 'cause they have
also have
PlayStation, they have
PlayStations,
PCs.
and they also have PCs.
Oh, they do.
They 9 times out of 10 they don't even play on Xbox.
I don't think they playing none of this shit because they never talking about what they're playing. Never.
Hey, the drama sells, man. They got to pay the bills.
So, I mean, at some point, somebody got to pay for something. You can't remain a multi-trillion-dollar company by just continue to give shit away.
Nah, you ain't got to
No,
pay
but
for nothing. You ain't got to
No,
pay
but
for nothing, bro. They
Yeah,
think
no,
being
no,
hear this out, Ghost. They think being pro-consumer means getting things cheap or getting over on the company that's selling the product.
Right.
That's
Exactly.
what they think pro-consumer is.
Mm-hmm.
I think being pro-consumer is offering a product that I'm willing to pay whatever for.
Right.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Or making
Right.
a product that the masses actually want to play.
Exactly.
You can say whatever you want about PlayStation, right? But the simple fact is, you have a base PS5. Okay, you have a PS5 Pro for the enthusiasts. You have a Portal for the you know what I mean, for the handheld people that apparently want to sit on their couch. You have PSVR. You have a DualSense Edge. You have games, first party, second party, third party. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole ecosystem built around their console, and a store that's efficient, a UI that's nice. I mean, and so everything, like, I own damn near. I got the earbuds, I got the headphones, I got the monitors, and not just because I have the means to do that, just because those are good quality things, and I feel like they're worth my money. That is pro-consumer.
Them
They have
was trash though.
they have
You talking about the post buds?
Yeah.
The buds ain't all there. Yeah, they fucked up. I bought the Enzo H9 today.
they have did a masterful job of providing.
You're gonna love the headset.
I love it already. I've been playing Death Stranding, playing that shit.
But I'm gonna tell you right now, Link, that headset is built for the PC. It's not built for the PlayStation.
I know. I watched some videos. watching reviews on it, but I
They
like
built
it though.
They built a whole ecosystem into so that you can invest back into their ecosystem, right? So
Yeah.
it's that
Right.
what was the word? What was that word Mark Cerny used? A virtuous cycle or something like that. You know what I mean? And Xbox just failed miserably at that. I mean, their best thing they have going for them, at least on paper, is Game Pass, right? But even then, with the cheapest console, with a powerful console, with Game Pass, people still just don't want it.
Listen, man, I
Worldwide.
got a one of my manager at my where I work. He's a Xbox player. He's not into all this shit. He's got an Xbox One S, and he's like, man, I guess I'm gonna have to upgrade my console because they're not making Madden on the last gen console, And he said, I'm thinking about getting NCAA football. And he told me, he said, man, I've been looking around trying to find an Xbox. He said, nobody has one in stock. Walmart, Target, Best Buy, right? So he said he was on Craigslist looking. He said, well, I found the Xbox with the sprinkles on. That ain't what he said, but that's the model. He said somebody's selling it for $550, right? So he said, is that a good deal? I said, well, I mean, if you retail, they're $729. So I guess I'm almost $200 cheaper. That's a pretty decent price because he don't really want to get. It's used, yeah. He don't want to get a PlayStation though, right? So he was like, but I've been seeing the. He said, I'm always been on Xbox, and I've been really thinking about that PlayStation. He said, shit, I saw a PlayStation brand new for $399. He said, how's the PlayStation that much cheaper? I said, look, man, I don't know. He said, well, I might just buy the PlayStation because
Wait,
I
hold
mean,
on. You said you ain't no Link? You be in here telling us all
no,
type of shit.
I ain't
But
look.
you didn't know
I didn't
why
want
the
to. I didn't want
Xbox
to
was
look.
more expensive.
I didn't want to get. Listen, I didn't want to get into all that. The dude like Xbox. I didn't want to. I didn't want to get into all that with him. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, "Well, for $399, I can get a brand new PS5 with the Call of Duty." I said, So he hasn't decided what he wants to do yet, but he thought the price of the Xbox because you can go to Xbox.com and order one.
Yeah.
He said, "Ain't no motherfucking way I'm gonna pay $700 for no console." He said, "That's just crazy." But he didn't really want to buy a used one. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, "Man, if I buy a used one, it don't work."
Whole ecosystem because of the $700 price tag.
He don't play nothing but Madden, Call of Duty, and NCAA football. So he's like, if I can play them games, he said, "Can I play with my Xbox friends?" I said, "Yeah, those games got crossplay." He said, "Well, I might have to switch." He hadn't bought it, but he's thinking about it.
Selling PlayStations. I see you, Link.
No. He just is asking some questions because he knows I'm into the game and stuff.
Yeah. Shout out to Gordo. He said, "I better not hear the word Concord come out of Bot's mouth ever again."
Yo, that's true.
Man,
yeah.
listen.
They love talking shit about Concord. But today, man, they've been blaming the recession. They've been blaming the gaming industry. They never want to specifically talk about what. They won't say Microsoft specifically. I haven't heard that from them. They're like, Sony did some layoffs too. It's the same thing. So that's what I've been seeing on Twitter. Yep. Yeah, I say, but Sony ain't lay out thousands. They've been hundreds. They ain't doing at this scale, which they're a smaller company. But yeah, man, they're not holding Microsoft accountable. They still capping for the shit. So, you know what I mean? It is what it is at this point. If you still on that bandwagon, oh yeah, I saw that.
Fire.
I saw that.
Hey, shout out to him.
Who is
he? Who is he? Who is that?
I think he was somebody who worked for Bethesda. Didn't he work for Bethesda?
Yeah, he did. And he worked on KOTOR 2 and this next game, one of them again.
He working on KOTOR 2 or the KOTOR remake?
I think he remake.
Is that shit still alive? Are they still working on that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hold on.
Good question.
I thought that shit was
yeah,
I don't think it was canceled. They gave the game to a different studio.
Yeah, it's still working. On it. Sickly it never canceled. They just give it to somebody else.
So where do they go from here? I don't believe there's gonna be another Xbox console. I
There
just don't believe it.
isn't any more Xbox consoles. It is a
They got the
wrap.
OEM.
Bro, they
They
are
got-
It's gonna be some kind of
transitioning them
PC, but it
folks
ain't gonna be
to
no console.
Yeah.
PC, bro. That's all
Yep.
that's happening right now.
Yep.
You know what? Link, you know the kind of small cute PCs they just have? The I forget what they
You
call
saw what
them.
Lisa Sue said. I know what they did. It's gonna be Lisa
Yeah.
Sue said Radeon and what's the
Ryzen?
and Ryzen in one
Yeah.
chip. She's talking
Yeah,
about
it's-
PC components.
It's those little cubes they sell. I forget the name what they just call them, but they just have like the mini box. That is basically what they're gonna be making.
Yo,
Those-
let me tell you, man. Shout out to all of the new people who are playing Death Stranding, bro. Because y'all are sounding like complete fucking morons. Oh my god, Death Stranding 2 is so much better than Death Stranding 1. Oh my god.
There's been a lot of people capping. There's been a lot of capping on the timeline. I've been seeing it.
Dude, when
Death
I
Stranding
say,
2 is better.
When I say, look, I love Death Stranding. One of my favorite games that have come out, you know, between last generation
Absolutely.
and this generation. And I've played both of them for extremely long times. While there is more of a convenience playing Death Stranding 2, they give you more options. They give you more more combat options, and things like that. It's still essentially the
delivering
same
packages.
fucking game.
Yeah.
And I ain't gonna lie, the shit pissed me off, bro. I was delivering a package, and now they got this shit called easily breakable packages and shit like that. Bro, tell me how I get all the way up the side of the mountain, bro, and then an avalanche happens. Shit totally killed me, dog. I had to repatriate.
Goddamn.
I was just like, dog, that's crazy to me, bro. That was crazy as fuck.
It's been a lot of people, even pro PlayStation guy that was hating on Death Stranding, that's playing the new game, talking about they're loving it. It's a totally different experience. And it's like,
it sure isn't.
No, it's not. You're still delivering packages. Yeah, you get vehicles quicker and they're making different things more convenient. But the main gameplay loop is still walking and delivering packages and shit like that. So if you didn't like the first game, but I love the game. If you didn't like the first game, I don't see how you're loving this game.
I have no idea either. I've been saying that since the shit has come out, and since I've seen a whole bunch of stupid people saying the same shit that they're saying. I'm like, dude, there's no fucking way. I ain't gonna lie to you. I love the monsters, the boss battles in this game, dog. That is some.
Oh yeah, I just fought a boss.
I don't want to get into it because I ain't trying to spoil nothing.
Yeah.
Man, some of these bosses, I'm like, yo, Kojima, dog, stop smoking, dog. That nigga is lacing his weed with crack, dog. I'm sure of it, bro.
Mm-hmm.
He's sprinkling a little coke on his weed, dog. Like, yo, this shit crazy. And I'm telling you, Kojima is one self-absorbed motherfucker, dog. He is one self-absorbed motherfucker, dog. I'm sitting in the fucking the bath spring where you fucking take a bath and shit like that. Bro, I'm looking up in the air. Why the fuck that nigga got a constellation of himself in the sky? Yo, I'm like, yo, this nigga is wild, dog. I'm like, this nigga is wild, bro.
This is the most, to me, so far, this generation, this is the best looking game I've played. So graphically,
without a doubt, it is graphically superior to everything that is released. Like I said, this is a game that when you're playing it, you don't think to yourself, damn, oh man, I wish I could play this in a better light or something like that. Like, you know, some games you play it and you like, damn, this shit blurry as fuck, bro. I wish it was sharper, dog.
Or damn, I put it in performance mode, not the visuals ain't all that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, or that.
Mm-mm.
Nah, this shit in performance mode looks pristine. It looks beautiful. And everything else, the story is gonna tug on your heartstrings, man. It's gonna tug on your
it's already doing that. Hell yeah, man. I ain't finished it yet.
You're gonna be a grown ass man in there like, I ain't crying, man. That's that's the baby. Oh man.
So sick, man. I mean,
go ahead. Yeah.
This ain't it, but you know, Death Stranding, amazing game. I mean, yeah, what a game Kojima and Sony collaborated on. But
if not for Sony,
what about this other?
Would have never come to light. It would have never been a thing.
Oh yeah, it's rumors that his OD game, Microsoft might be canceling that. What you think?
I don't think they canceling it because Kojima doesn't have a problem making games.
No, but they may not want to pay for it.
Nah, they don't already put it in the contracts. I mean, they haven't given him enough time. Microsoft is laying off 9,000 Americans while simultaneously seeking approval for 14,181 new H-1B visa hires. Oh,
goddamn, boy, no way.
Yo, they about to put Pushna in the goddamn call center, nigga. God damn. They about to put Ravi in the goddamn... They about to put Ravi on the development team, dog. Like, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Yo, I really feel like these companies and this administration really think they're going to be able to keep pushing people around, bro. Niggas is going to snap. Just give it a little bit more. Niggas is going to snap. They are not going to like...
You think there's a limit to the bullshit they going to do?
Oh, it's...
That people going to let them do?
Oh, nah, people about to start dying. If this bill get approved, like if they bring it back to Congress and Congress approves that shit and put it on the desk for him to sign, oh, niggas about to start dying. They are about to create a whole bunch of Luigi Mangianes. You ever seen that movie V for Vendetta? They're about to create one of them situations. They're about to create one of them situations. It's coming. Yeah, it's coming, man. God damn, I can't believe that though. That's wild, bro. That is wild shit. Why is the gaming industry struggling right now? The gaming industry.
Why do they always? No, it's not. They keep listen. Why do they always try to make Microsoft's problem an entire industry problem? They always do this. When they fire people, when they close studios, when they release broken games, why is the gaming industry having these problems? Yeah, PlayStation don't seem to be struggling. Nintendo ain't struggling.
It's not an industry problem. It is a Xbox problem. We need to just leave it at that. We need to leave it at that.
Did you see the tweet from Mike Ibarra the other day when he was like Microsoft can't seem to pick a lane and stick to it, and he said people can say the Xbox is an ecosystem and Xbox is everything. He said you can say what you want. When you ask the average person on the street what an Xbox is, they're gonna tell you it's a console.
Right.
He said so. Microsoft's trying to change the narrative on what Xbox is, what a console is. They always seem to be trying to change what reality is. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it never works. Well, and you said at the beginning of the generation, all this bullshit, these journalists telling lies, capping for Game Pass, making it seem like Microsoft is doing amazing.
I told you
but
that
it won't
would
work.
not pay off. I told you that is going to end very badly for Microsoft because the product that they're giving is just not good. It's just not good. And you got people out here pretending like it is. The problem is people actually get these devices in their hand and they're like, yo, what the fuck is this? I thought they said I was getting this, and then they find out they getting that. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, man.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But hey, I tell you what, man, like, what do you think Microsoft's next move is going to be? Because right now they need to put out some
I know what the next move is.
To clean up this, because this is not great at all. This is very,
I know what the next move is a price increase on Game Pass. That's the next move.
Nah, I'm talking about to calm the people. Because you know they got to put out something that sounds good, even if it ain't good.
Some good news.
Yeah, they're gonna have to put out some good news.
Well, they did say everything that they showed at this summer. They said everything that was shown.
They're gonna drop a new controller. Watch.
Yeah.
He
Well, they said everything
dropped
that
the new
showed at this
controller.
was sick.
Yeah,
Microsoft said
Xbox-
everything that this
Xbox
showed
Steam
that they
DVD player.
did.
Hold on, I can't hear y'all. Y'all both talking at the same time.
They're gonna drop an Xbox Steam DVD player. Watch.
Oh my god! So,
Silly shit.
so what they said was everything that they showed at this June showcase that they showed.
Yeah.
None of those games have been canceled. Everything they showed this summer is still moving ahead. I'm not sure what that means. Does that mean all the shit they showed the year before been canceled?
I was
Is
just gonna
Blade
say, what does
canceled?
that mean?
Yeah,
Somebody
like
was
I
saying
don't.
that Blade was canceled, but I think Arcane came out in not Arcane. Maybe it is
It
Arcane.
is Arcane, isn't it? Yeah, it's Arcane.
Arcane Lions or something like that.
Yeah,
I think
the
somebody
French
from their
studio. I
team
think. Yeah.
came out and corrected it and said, "Nah,
hmm
that's not true."
So they fired half of the Turn 10 developer, the one who makes Forza Motorsports.
Yeah, nah,
Half of that
that
studio.
studio about to be out of here, bro.
That Forza Motorsport, it didn't sell. You know,
Who is it for? Who is Forza Motorsports for? It's not for people who actually like sim racing. So who is it for?
no, because
And it got kicked out of esports. You know, it got kicked out of the esport thing because of
Oh, it
all its
did?
flaws and issues. Yeah. So
Mm.
Thrash made a post saying that Sony, you know, declined to take the option to get Forza Motorsport because it doesn't benefit Sony at all.
no.
I mean, especially
I mean,
with
it's not going to sell.
Gran Turismo.
Yeah, it's not going to sell. So, I mean, what's the point in even bringing the shit over there? Yeah. Yeah.
Yo, look at this dude. Xbox just canceled Perfect Dark. Fuck Xbox. Why all these people pretending like they was about to buy Perfect Dark? We know they wouldn't. We knew they weren't finna buy this game, dog. Like, why are they pretending like they loved it so much? The only person I really truly believe was gonna buy that is Bari, and maybe a few other people from the PlayStation side. I have no faith in no Xbox dudes whatsoever in buying anything.
No.
So yeah, but I don't even know why. Like, I don't know why niggas be pretending like that. Damn, y'all boys.
Yeah, I don't know. This whole, all these dudes jumping to PC, you know, I mean, I hope they enjoy it, man.
Oh, wow. Hold on 1 second, Link. This dude named Chris Avalon. They say he is the co-founder of Obsidian Entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
He said, sending good thoughts to those affected by the bizarre Microsoft layoffs and hope you find new jobs soon. As for the mouthpieces like Jez Corden and Clobril that thrive like remorse on the underbelly of Xbox news, you two can fuck right off, you pathetic shields.
Goddamn.
Yeah.
For the record, and as a showcase of their integrity, both were staunch supporters of various Xbox titles that were clearly in trouble, but then did everything they could to spin and bury any trace of bad news. One example, Avowed. Just tell the truth. Being a mouthpiece won't save you when the rest of the body dies. Damn.
Oh shit.
Yes, sir.
Hey.
Damn.
Hey, that nigga ain't playing, bruh. He is not.
And he's a developer. He's a developer.
And he added them too.
Hold on. He is. Hold on. Let me see who he really is, because I don't like taking people's word for it. Chris. What is it? Oh shit. Now I can't type for some reason. Chris Avaloni. Avioni. What is it? Avaloni or Avioni? He is developer, writer, Planescape, Torment, Fallout 2 New Vegas, Divinity Original Sin 2, Prey, Into the Breach, Dying Light, X Bloodlines 2, Star Wars KOTOR 2, and Jedi Fallen Order. God damn. This nigga did a lot. Looks like he been a Bethesda guy.
Mm-hmm.
hell, he been all over the place. He worked
Mhm.
on quite a few games. Divinity Original Sin 2. Isn't that the people who make Baldur's Gate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he been all. You know what? The universe is fixing itself. The universe is fixing. I ain't even mad at homeboy. Not at all. I'm glad he went the route that he went to tell them niggas how he feel. He letting y'all know exactly what everybody else has been letting y'all know. And you know what?
Mm-hmm.
I ain't mad at them being a fan, so let's not get that twisted, right? Being a fan is okay, but they take it a step further. They're no longer fans. They're just, sometimes their hate for the other company is what drives them to do the things, not the love for the company that they actually like. Does that make sense? So the hate for one company drives them more than the love that they should have for the other company.
Right.
Because I think at one point it was Jez or somebody else who was saying that they hate Sony because Sony killed Sega.
I know you talking about. It was
Wasn't him, right?
oh,
Okay.
No, it wasn't Jazz. It was somebody else. Somebody. Oh man, was it Japan hates Xbox or Japan? Not. It was Japan loves Xbox or so. It was one of them. It was one of them clowns. But I saw that post.
Yeah.
I saw that post because I think Bari or Persona then spelled it out, and it's like, this is why, Sega failed, and they listed all the consoles that they released, but it was along that line. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Sega failed because Sega failed.
Right.
Xbox.
Yeah, I don't think
let me tell
Sony
you,
pushed them to fail.
PlayStation just brought a better value proposition at a time where they were floundering.
Right.
So Sony released the PlayStation
Absolutely.
1. They were just coming off of the Sega CD with the fucking Jaguar extension and the goddamn 32X.
All that bullshit, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then they moved into the Sega Saturn and didn't really have the greatest lineup. Don't get me wrong, I fuck with the Daytona USA, the Virtual Cop, and the Virtual Fighter. You know what I'm saying? That dropped the three game on one disc or whatever. Like, that shit was fucking crazy. But let's keep it a buck. PlayStation had the better lineup, and PlayStation was getting more support from third-party developers. So, yeah,
Right.
They just had the better value proposition, bro. They did not kill Sega. Sega killed themselves by not putting in the work, by thinking that their legend would save them, and it didn't. Not in this case.
I mean, Sega didn't have great third-party
They did
partnerships. They did not like Sony. Sony had better.
No. Sony
And
was
Sega
just more aggressive. Sony was more aggressive.
They were more aggressive with it, yeah. But I don't think Sony killed, because there's room for multiple consoles to be successful, even if one is more successful than the other one. I think Sega's bad business practices put them out of business.
No, but I'm gonna tell you, Microsoft spent way too much time not really focusing on themselves, but focusing on whatever Sony was doing. That's the reason why Xbox as a brand has zero fucking identity. Because while they should have been spending their time really coordinating and making themselves better, all they did was spend all of their time trying to keep up. That's what they was doing.
Trying to keep up with Sony. Hey, they said they wanted to. I mean, you got executives sending emails back and forth talking about they're going to outspend Sony or spin Sony into what was that shit they said in the emails? You know what I'm talking about? During the Activision Blizzard, that bullshit.
Matt Booty and I think it was Matt Booty and Phil.
They was worried about the wrong thing. Instead of trying to put Sony out of business and do all this bullshit, they should have just been focusing on making their business the best business, gaming business it could be, to entice the consumers to come over there. They did it totally wrong. And the problem is too, they pivot so much and change direction so much. They don't pick a lane and stick to it to see it through.
Nope, not at all.
They don't do it because they don't have confidence in the stuff they're doing. They're just trying things.
That's fact.
And I mean, if you had a clear direction and a plan on what you were trying to do, even if you didn't see success right away. See, when they don't see success right away, they pivot and pivot and pivot. And there's no clear direction on where the company is going. Whatever this new thing that they're making is not going to be a console. Consoles don't support Steam and Epic and GOG. They don't have all these games. And how are you going to play Steam games on a console? You have to have a PC to play this stuff. So they will make this new whatever it's going to be, this PC, this dedicated PC box or whatever, with this APU in it. They won't have any retail presence. You're probably only going to be able to get it directly through Microsoft. It's going to fail miserably. And you know what Microsoft has learned as they jumped into a new arena, which is the publishing arena. And now they're having to compete with the likes of not only just Sony and Nintendo, now they're having to compete directly with the Activision and the Ubisofts and the EAs, because when they put out their games now, these are games that are going everywhere. So they have to make really good quality products so that people will buy it across all these different storefronts. This is a different arena, and I don't even know if they're going to be successful at that. Just buying up a bunch of stuff is not going to make you successful. And your company can get so big and bloated that you have no agility. And so I'm not surprised by any of this. It's happening faster than I thought it would. I thought these type of things would start happening next generation, but the multi-platform, the closing of all these studios, the hardware dying. So I'm not surprised. I'm just surprised about how swift it came about, you know.
You know what I thought was funny? That lady that you were referring to earlier, the
Laura, I think his name. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these idiots spent time saying that she doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about, and I'm like,
oh yeah, they tried to discredit her. Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me, dog?
She knew exactly what she was talking about.
Kidding me? You know why that's funny? I'm gonna tell you why that's funny. They say, oh, she can't know about anything. She hasn't worked there for years. But these niggas will reference everything that Shuhei Yoshida, Sean Layden, Kaz Hirai, anybody who's ever worked for PlayStation, nigga, they would be all over it and they wouldn't say shit about them not knowing, even though they haven't worked for the company in years. They would go to Andrew House and believe whatever Andrew House is saying. They would take the words of what's that guy's name? The one who made the PS3. Was that Kaz Hirai?
I honestly can't remember, man.
But they would take the words of any of those people, especially if it's something negative towards Sony. But then again, a person who literally was like the founding person when Xbox was created, oh, she don't know what the hell she talking about.
She don't know what she's talking about. And also, too, if this lady was that high up in the company and had this many relationships and connections,
Ken Kutaragi,
you don't think that she still... Yeah, Ken, you don't think that this woman still has friends and coworkers that still work over there that are telling her what's going on and how they're probably not happy with the direction the company's going in? There's no way that there aren't people that work for Microsoft that she doesn't still have connections with.
You know, they only care about the perception. They don't care about the truth.
Oh, yeah, they don't. Yeah.
They only care about how people perceive Xbox. If they feel like it's going to hurt Xbox as a brand, then they try to dismiss whatever is being said. If it's something good, if Laura Fryer would have came out and be like, yeah, I see great things in the future, they'd be like, see, she worked for Xbox when it was first originally being created. We can definitely take her word for it. But because she's saying something negative, all of a sudden you try to discredit and dismiss what she says. But that's how you ended up. That's how they ended up in this situation that they're in right now, because of that exact same reason.
Well, she said that one of the reasons they created the Xbox console was to solve the problem of PC gaming, which is compatibility and making gaming just more simple, you know, for people that just want to hook up the console to a television. And getting rid of the complexity of owning a game on PC and maybe it playing today, but in 6 months from now after an update or changing out parts or different things, now a game is not compatible, or, you know, all these different things you have to deal with when you game on PC. And she said that, you know, they wanted to get into the home console space to solve one of the issues that PC gaming faces. So to then turn around and just go from console to go making, which it seems to be that they're transitioning over to PC,
Mm-hmm.
strictly PC, because you know what? They don't have to make a custom solution for their users anymore. They can just make a PC version of the game and let them dudes have it. They don't have to worry about the hardware. I've been saying this for like 2 years. The hardware is weighing the company down. Every time they do an earning report, the console is negative 20%, negative 30, negative 40%, year over year, quarter over quarter. So the consoles not only does it not make them any money when they sell it, it's not selling. And so I think that they're ditching the traditional console model, and
Mm-hmm.
you'll have all these different OEM PC things that they want to call an Xbox, because everything's an Xbox now. Their brand is just all over the place, and you
And if
know,
everything's an
I won't be,
Xbox,
but
then nothing's an Xbox.
nothing's an Xbox, right? You got an Xbox Meta Quest or some shit, whatever. Listen, man, the shit that this is this is crazy, man.
Slapping a Bugatti
I
sticker on a Chevy Geo or a Geo
Yeah,
Metro is not gonna make it a Bugatti. I'm
no,
sorry, it's just not. It's just gonna be a Chevy Geo. It's gonna be a Geo Metro with a Bugatti goddamn emblem on it. It does not make
absolutely.
it a Bugatti. It's just another car with a Bugatti emblem on it.
Yeah, and yeah, by trying to serve all these different people, they're serving no one. And their customer base, for one reason or another, is championing all this nonsense.
Yeah.
Um, you got our journalists and websites claiming that Microsoft's removing the shackles of console gaming and embracing PC. Um,
Which makes no
okay.
sense. Just say it back to yourself. It makes no sense, bro.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't
I'm
make any
sorry.
sense.
It doesn't.
So,
I mean, it is.
um,
It is what it is. But at the end of the day, I'll say this: more power to the people who work for Xbox. Hopefully, they get on
mhm,
they land on their feet. Um,
mhm.
but I don't see good things coming from this. I'm just gonna
No.
call this now, as I've always been saying it before. I don't see anything good coming from this. I don't see this ending well for Xbox, and I think people should be more worried about Xbox than they really believe they should, right? Because I think what's going
Mhm,
on right now is Satya is saying, I don't give a fuck about this. We've tried, it's failed. Let's move on. Wind this shit
mhm,
down. That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like he's saying,
mhm.
wind this down. I don't want to hear about this console anymore. I don't want to hear about a console anymore. Transition them over to PC. Let's wrap it up. That's what I'm seeing with this. Everybody wants to blame Phil because Phil has been the one that's been the face of the lies. But at the end of the day, it's bigger than Phil. Phil tried. He did whatever he could to save Xbox. So we gotta at least give him props for that. He attempted to save Xbox, but Xbox is unsavable. It's unsavable. The fans of Xbox aren't really Xbox fans. Something is wrong with
No,
these
they're
folks.
gone. Yeah.
Something is wrong with these folks as fans. Like, they're not really Xbox fans. And at this point, Satya Nadella is tired of wasting money. He's tired of having to answer to the shareholders as to why, they haven't recouped the money that they spent on these studios. Why do we not have the revenue stream that you promised us? Why are we still, in the red? Like, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going
Oh
on?
yeah,
I'd
absolutely.
be upset as well. I'd be upset as
Mm.
well.
You've invested billions and billions of dollars acquiring all these publishers and studios, and they're not getting a return on their investment because I don't know. I mean, you got a fan base on your console that will not buy games anymore. They'll only consume stuff in the Game Pass. So then you try to expand over to these other platforms like PlayStation and Nintendo, and those fans aren't going to just buy some bullshit. You know,
Right.
if you're not making high quality games, they're not going to support it. They'll just buy from another third party publisher. So, you know, I think they've gobbled up more than they can handle. Why Phil Spencer still got a job, I don't know. But yeah, this is a bad day if you work at Microsoft. You know what?
Wow, Jez, god damn, bro, Jez, just stop, dog. Just stop. This man is on Jez's head right now. This man is on Jez's head right now. Jez said, I have sources in hardware and ecosystem. I don't have sources at Obsidian. I've never played Avowed and I've never covered it to my knowledge. The guy literally posted the link to his article and then told Jez, you are a clown's clown. Hey, yo.
He's told so many lies, he can't even keep up with it anymore.
I believe him. I believe Jez, though. I believe Jez never played Avowed.
Oh, no, he didn't.
I believe he's never played Avowed. I think because any game that I played, I remember it, good or bad. I remember me playing it. The fact that he doesn't remember even writing an article about Avowed, he did not play it. He's allowing other people to submit things under his name. Now, I can't prove that, so I'm going to say allegedly, but that's exactly how it is. It's like this. If you're a kid and you've cheated on every test, I mean, not every test, you've cheated on all of your work all throughout school, right? And then it comes time for you to actually take a test, a final exam, right? When you take the final exam, you're bound to fail it because you weren't the one actually doing the work. So you don't actually understand what it takes to even answer these questions appropriately on the test. That's how I feel about Jez right now. I feel like Jez is one of them people that was cheating so much and it came time to take the test and he was not prepared for the test. So he failed. And I feel like that's what a lot of these people in journalism do. I think they have teams of people. I don't think that the same person is the one that's writing all the experiences that they have. I think that shit goes through some sort of a circulation. And the thing is, they just take who's ever's the most popular and we'll just publish it under their name. Because you can't tell me any excuse as to why Jez totally forgot that he played Avowed. Avowed isn't like a super old game. I think that game just came out this year, right? So you mean to tell me he forgot already in 6 months? In the 6 months that we've been in this year? Well, actually, no, we in July now. So within the 7 months of this year, he already forgot about Avowed? So either Avowed was a super terrible game or he's never played it. And I'm willing to bet he's never played it.
No, I don't think he played it.
Again, that doesn't stop him from capping for it, though.
Oh, no.
Doesn't stop him from capping for it. Hold on, let me see what he's saying.
One of the things I've been doing is I've been checking a lot of the reactions of people. And,
like reaction videos?
Yeah, reaction videos. Dude, the amount of super positive Xbox, like people that hate Xbox or like downplay it, are like, yo, Perfect Dark looks like a banger. Like people are normally that you would expect to hate on it. They're like, that looks really good. And it's certain like Perfect Dark impressed the hell out of me.
So slick.
And it's like, okay, keep cooking.
So how are you feeling about that part? Is that
keep cooking? Bro, I don't want to ever hear anybody talking about in the development world. Don't tell me about cooking. Don't tell me about what's being cooked. Don't tell me about nothing in relation to cooking and whatever your game is. Do not fucking tell me that, because last time we heard that people were cooking, nigga, we didn't get nothing from the meal. We didn't get nothing from the meal. All of them stopped cooking or were forced to stop cooking, and we didn't get to taste nothing. So don't tell me you cooking shit. Many of Xbox's subsidiaries are getting hit by the layoffs this morning, including Call of Duty studios such as Raven. Big cuts at Forza Motorsport developer turned 10, nearly 50% of staff per source. That came from Jason Schreier. I'm gonna tell you, I still think that it's terrible that when these people are finding out that they're fired, when these people are finding out that they're losing their jobs, when these people are finding out that they're going to be laid off. I just said the same thing 3 fucking times in 3 different ways. Jesus Christ. But it's crazy that you're hearing it from somebody who doesn't even work within your organization. It's crazy. Just imagine being
some people,
on Twitter. Mm-hmm. Imagine being on Twitter, right? Scrolling through Twitter, and all of a sudden you find out that you were laid off.
Yeah, there were. I want to say somebody was telling me this morning that teams. This is a guy who used to be a developer, but he's got friends that still make games and some that work at Microsoft. He was saying like one studio was told, the employees were told that they're going to be working remotely for the next couple of days, and then this morning people tried to log into Slack and they couldn't even get in, couldn't log into certain things, and then that's how they found out they was fired. So
wait, so they didn't inform them? Like they didn't tell them? Like they didn't call them and say, "Hey"?
I mean, I'm sure not being able to log in, I'm sure that they were contacted, but they were saying like people weren't able to log into certain things, and that's how they started finding out that they weren't employed anymore, and they start seeing the stuff on the internet, obviously. But yeah.
They said a guy who's been with Rare for like 35 years is he's being laid off.
Yeah, like I think 2 major higher ups at Rare are gone.
That's crazy. Rare was already missing that flair that they had before, and now you're just
when they were with Nintendo. Yeah,
that's crazy, man.
This Rare studio. That studio, I don't know. I mean, all they've been doing is making DLC for Sea of Thieves. They haven't. Rare has a ton of classic IP, but they don't work on none of it. So they were relegated to make this live service Sea of Thieves shit, and that's what they've been making. So
yeah,
which I still don't understand how people play that shit, because I think that game is awful. But
that
this Rare
game is literally probably the worst fucking game that I've ever played in my life.
Yeah, it's horrible. I played it for about 20 minutes.
I stand by that shit. Put me to sleep. It put me
to
sleep.
So what game was it that Phil claimed he was playing when he went to the initiative? Remember when they got that clip with Phil and the guy who now works at Insomniac that went over to the initiative when they started that studio, and he uploaded that.
Didn't he go back to the initiative?
No. He went to the initiative and then went back to Insomniac.
No, but I'm telling you, I feel like he went back to the initiative after that point. Remember, because he was working on Wolverine, and then they were talking about he left again and went back to the initiative. That man must have went back to the initiative just to close that bitch down. That's crazy.
His name was what? Drew Murray. Let me see. I'm looking at him right now.
I feel like I saw something that say he went back. If not him, then somebody else from Insomniac went back.
I don't know. He went back to Insomniac. I don't know if he still works there now. His name is Drew Murray.
See, y'all don't even know.
I'm looking at
y'all know the instance. They said it was somebody else.
No, it was Drew Murray.
No, they said it was somebody else. No.
It was somebody else?
Somebody else who went back to...
Oh, yeah. No, he left Initiative in 2021 and rejoined Insomniac. In 2021. So this is the guy. Maybe it's somebody else, but this is the guy who left Insomniac, went to the Initiative, and went back to Insomniac. I don't know if he still works there, because this was in 2021. But what I'm saying is, I remember Phil claiming that he played the game from start to finish, and this was in before they announced what the game was. Right? They didn't have a title, and then we found out later it was Perfect Dark. But
I would
you don't believe
that.
Phil?
You know why I don't believe that? Because Phil ain't got enough time, dog. Anybody who has a schedule, that you know, they handle life in 30-minute blocks or hour blocks or whatever, they don't have time to finish video games like that. They're too busy in their actual active lives.
So, what was he playing then when he was sitting in front of that monitor with that picture?
Oh, he wasn't playing nothing. That was a photo op.
He got a photo out.
Yeah. Ask Jaffe if he's still sure about that ABK purchase. You know, I want to ask Jaffe if he's still championing Game Pass like that, because this is partly his fault too. Isn't that what he told us when he came on site? He was like, well, we'll see what happens. You know, if Game Pass is as bad as you guys say it is, then, you know, then Microsoft, they'll find something else. They'll do something different. Well, it's happening. It's happening, buddy. Game Pass has not been able to save it. Sorry. Jez may want to just log off for a few days to a week, maybe a month. I have sources, blah, blah, blah. Are you fucking serious? Nintendo declining to buy Rare has to go down as one of their biggest blunders. Second, only having... I don't think so. Y'all gotta understand. Nintendo had a long relationship with Rare. They knew what type of chick Rare was. You know what I'm saying? And they knew they didn't want to deal with the bullshit that came along with Rare. I mean, it's simple, it's plain, it is what it is. A lot of people don't like that fact, but them dudes that be the facts. All right, let me see. Where is... Hold on, I'm trying to find this Laura Fryer interview. Trying to find this. Let's see. There we go. Talk to me, Laura.
If you watch the latest Xbox showcase, you can see that Xbox has finally landed on a strategy, a plan for the future of Xbox. It's the Xbox Anywhere plan. They're betting the entire business on Game Pass and leaving the hardware innovation to their partners at Asus. This wasn't surprising. Hardware is expensive to make. It's much easier to slap an Xbox sticker on an existing piece of hardware and call it a day. It requires very little effort in comparison.
Oh, that's cute. They try hard to reveal this Xbox Ally the way Sony revealed the PlayStation Portal. That's cute.
And if you don't care about console sales or exclusive games anymore, why bother innovating in hardware? I'll admit, it's a great message for gamers. Who doesn't want to play their games with their family and friends on any device and any platform? But that's all it is. It's marketing. It's style, not substance. Just because you say something, it doesn't mean that you can do it. And it also doesn't mean that you won't change your mind. After all, Xbox has been pivoting a lot lately.
Yep, that's me. And you're probably wondering how I ended up here. Well, it's pretty standard.
Remember when they talked about the importance of high-quality games, but then shut down the studio that made Hi-Fi Rush? What about Game Pass? One of the defining features...
Would we define Hi-Fi Rush as a high-quality game, though? I mean, I've heard it said so many times, but when we say high-quality games, is Hi-Fi Rush that game? I don't know if that's true. I was leaving comments on Laurel's channel. Xbots were crying in the comments. Hilarious. I would personally enjoyed it tremendously. I mean, are you saying you only enjoy things that are high quality? Are you saying if you enjoyed it, that means it is high quality? I don't know. I need an understanding on that, Crisis Core. So if you don't play it, then it's not high quality. If you don't play it, that's because it's not high quality. All right, gotcha.
Was day one games, and now there are tiers that don't offer the feature at all. Last year, Phil expressed how $70 pricing could feel manipulative to gamers, and now he's on board with charging $80 for Outer Worlds 2.
Damn, she punching that nigga all in the gut. Phil said that $70 games felt manipulative, but he is all on board with $80 games. Those do be the facts, though.
Cost may be high. One day, I know you'll be mine.
From my perspective, the Xbox strategy has been chaotic, so it's hard to say exactly what they'll do next. But assuming they stick with Xbox Anywhere, it's really left me wondering, will the latest announcement drive more gamers to Game Pass? Will they be able to convince gamers that the Xbox ROG Ally is a good idea? And what is going to happen with the hardware and software teams that aren't delivering right now in the Xbox team? Are they going to get caught up in the layoffs that Microsoft just announced are coming?
Yes. Yes, Laura. That is exactly what's going to happen. I hate to say it. They announced a few things. I still believe that Ninja Theory is going to be one of those studios that they cut. And I'm not going to lie to you. I'm low-key waiting for that day to come so then I can play their video where they were talking about why they decided to take the deal with Microsoft.
For context, let's talk about why Xbox started and how it played into the strengths of Microsoft. I was working in Microsoft Game Studios on Crimson Skies when the console talks started. At that point, Microsoft dominated the office, but Sony owned the living room and was taking a serious bite out of the PC gaming market. When Xbox launched, there were at least 125 million PlayStations available, and there was a reason for that. Gamers could just plug in the PlayStation and the games worked. They didn't have to worry about why that piece of software on their Windows system didn't play nice with the other piece of software and why their video card wasn't working or that they needed an updated driver. It was simple.
This is how you share your games on PS4. Thanks.
Of course, at that time, game developers actually listened to their customers and they would follow them. With all of these gamers going to PlayStation, game developers started trying. It was simple.
This is how you share your games on PS4. Thanks.
Of course, at that time, game developers actually listened to their customers and they would follow them. With all of these gamers going to PlayStation, game developers started trying to climb the hill of learning the PlayStation. And if they could do that, then they didn't have to worry after they made their game about testing all of those hardware and software compatibility issues that plagued the Windows ecosystem. It just worked. Microsoft could see this threat, so they jumped in and did what Microsoft does best. They took over an existing market by leveraging their strengths. They already had a fine-tuned system of execution at scale. They knew how to ship product, and they knew how to scale their system across a large team. Luckily, Microsoft had already built a game developer foundation with Microsoft Windows and DirectX. The message for Xbox was simple. With a hard drive, you could build your game once on Xbox or Windows, and it would just work. Of course, the problem was...
Nope. I gotta disagree with you there. Xbox has never been great when it came to games and games working across PC as well as Xbox. I don't know what you're talking about here, Laura, because I've yet to see that. Have any of you guys in chat, have you saw it being an easy transition for them to make games on PC and then also make it across the console as well? No, 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 no. All we have ever seen is problems. Games for Windows was ass. It was absolutely ass. As a matter of fact, Microsoft did such a bang up job that nobody wants to use the Windows Store. Nobody, literally nobody wants to use the Windows Store. I mean, they're doing such a great job of producing across multiple platforms, right? Nah, I gotta disagree with I gotta disagree with you there, Laura. Sorry. Lisa, whatever her name is.
Windows was bloated. So without telling Bill Gates, the Xbox team removed the bloat and made a light version to power the box.
I start to try to argue for this, why we can't have the normal version of Windows. Bill doesn't want any of it. He doesn't want to hear it. He yells at me, shuts me down.
We did everything we could to make the platform as attractive for game developers as possible. We even hired 50 game makers into the Xbox Advanced Technology Group to support the game developers. The ATG team collectively had made hundreds of games, so we were great at translating game developer concerns into changes at developers. The ATG team collectively had made hundreds of games, so we were great.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. Am I bugging the fuck out? Or are they in this developer session or whatever, nigga, and they got liquor on deck? Or is that like a fancy bottle of water or something? I'm sorry, it looks like straight liquor to me. It looked like liquor to me. Maybe some champagne or something like that. Yeah, but you need wine to be... See, this is why they couldn't never get nothing done. This is why they could never get shit done. This is the reason why. They was always fucked up.
At translating game developer concerns into changes at Microsoft. We did whatever it took, and this focus on developers, it was a game changer because we attacked one of Sony's biggest weaknesses. They did not have great developer tools or support or documentation.
Games sell.
Now, again, Laura, I gotta disagree with you there. I gotta disagree with you there, man. Not gonna lie though, I did hear that the PlayStation 2 was difficult to develop for. The PlayStation 3, we know how that fucking turned out. But I still gotta disagree because if that's the case, Xbox wouldn't have got smashed the way that it did if they had all this going for them. If it was just a easier time for Xbox and shit like that, I think the developers would have gravitated towards Xbox. But then again, I guess when we're talking about mindshare and the type of mindshare that PlayStation had back in the days, ooh, maybe it was problematic for them. But yeah, I'm gonna say no though. I'm gonna say no. I don't believe that. I gotta disagree with you there.
Sell consoles, and so in order to sell consoles, we had to win the hearts and minds of the developers.
I could see that Xbox had a chance of succeeding.
They had to win the hearts and minds of the developers. Did they make that happen? Did they win the hearts and minds of the developers, guys? Did they? I don't think they did. I don't think they did. I don't think they won the hearts and minds of the developers because where the fuck are all the developers? Where are they? Where are they in your time of need? Where are they?
Listening to developers, and we were building exclusive, high-quality first-party titles. We knew that platform adoption requires proof. People don't buy your new hardware if there's no reason to. Definitely a problem for the new Xbox handheld. And it worked. By 2012, Xbox was a multi-billion-dollar
1 billion-dollar business, and they were a true player in the living room.
business, and they were a true player in the living room. 1 billion-dollar business, and they were a true player in the living room. 1 billion-dollar business, and they were a true player in the living room. 1 billion-dollar business, and they were a true player in the living room. 1 billion-dollar business, and they were a true player in the living room. 1 billion-dollar business, and they were a true player in the living room. 1 billion-dollar business, and they were a true player in the living room. 1 billion-dollar business, and they were a true player in the living room. 1 billion-dollar business, and they were a true player in the living room. 1 billion-dollar business, and they were a true player in the living room. 1 billion-dollar business, and they were a true player in the living room. 1 billion-dollar business, and they were a true player in the living Fast forward, and here we are. It's 1 year from the 25th anniversary of the Xbox. And it looks like they're abandoning pretty much everything that made the Xbox brand great in the first place. Let's start with the handheld announcement. I've seen mixed reactions, and that has me really puzzled because I don't see any reason why anyone would buy this piece of hardware. Just like the...
Thank you. That's what I was saying. That's exactly what I was saying. Who the fuck is this for? Who is this ROG Ally Xbox X Ally whatever the fuck they want to call it? Who is this shit for? It can't be for the PC person that wants a handheld because this shit already exists. It can't be for the console person that don't want to deal with PC problems because it's nothing more than a mini fucking PC. It's nothing more than a mini fucking PC. The only thing that might be a little different is the software. But that's it. So why? And it's software that's going to be available to all Asus Ally ROGs. Doesn't matter if it's the Xbox version or whether it's just the regular Ally version. The same software is going to be available across both. It is simply a handheld PC. You cannot say that you don't like PC, but then you want a ROG Ally in any capacity. Let's cut it the fuck out. Can we stop with the lies? Second of all, you would not buy a $300 to $500 console, but you want us to believe that you're going to buy a $600 to $900, maybe possibly even exceeding $1,000 handheld? Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
With the handheld announcement. I've seen mixed reactions, and that has me really puzzled because I don't see any reason why anyone would buy this piece of hardware.
I don't
Just
either.
like the original Xbox, it's built on Windows, a slimmed down version of Windows, but it's still Windows. So this isn't something new. And let me just admit my bias here. I don't like Windows. When I left Microsoft, I installed Linux on all of my personal systems, and I never looked back. Of course, as many pointed out after PewDiePie did the same thing, Windows is still needed for some games, so I created a dual boot machine for those cases. Incidentally, this line, the freedom of Windows, freedom? Windows 11 is forcing you to have separate accounts so they can track everything you do. Doesn't feel very free. And they are leaving a lot of their Windows 10 users behind because they require a chip to be installed on the motherboard in order for you to upgrade.
Right.
Microsoft, you do you, but freedom is literally the last thing I would use to describe the Windows operating system. So given the Xbox was already built on Windows, I don't see that that's really a big selling point. But that's okay, because it's really about the games. Will it be Halo? Will it be the new Gears? Is there going to be a game so compelling that it drives me to adopt this new handheld?
No.
Well, here's the problem. Xbox doesn't do exclusives anymore. Even if Xbox delivers a crazy great game, Xbox Anywhere means that I can play that game on any platform. I can play it on Xbox or PC. I may even be able to play it on the PS5 or the Switch. So why would I buy the ROG Ally?
Exactly.
And of course, delivering a killer game in a reasonable time frame isn't something Xbox is particularly good at right now. During the showcase, there were several games still in development that weren't even mentioned, like State of Decay 3, Perfect Dark, and Fable. And many of these games have been in development over 5 years. There is only one reason these games are behind. It's because Xbox has lost their culture of shipping at scale. They don't have the people or the process in place that can ship. And it's a shame because they used to do better than anyone in the business. Recently, Microsoft announced that they were going to be doing layoffs. A lot of people are speculating that it's going to be the sales division, but I'm not so sure. I think that if I was working on one of the games that didn't make the showcase, or if I was in the Xbox hardware team, I would be worried. So there isn't going to be any killer game that drives me to buy this handheld. And that's okay, right? Because Xbox Anywhere means that I'm going to be able to play all my Xbox games and PC games on my handheld. And that right there could be a big selling point. Except it looks like that might not be the case. There's been some confusion on this point, but from what I can tell, Pure Xbox is correct. You won't be able to play native Xbox games, only native PC games. This isn't great, in my opinion. If Xbox Anywhere means I should be able to play all my games on the handheld device, then darn it, I want to play all of my games, not just my PC games. Further on in the article, they say, let's hope we might get native console games in the future, but it's not something we're expecting right now. Think of the ROG Xbox Ally as a Windows 11 gaming PC with Xbox-specific features, because that's basically what it is. If you don't have a big budget, why not just buy a PC? They're not that expensive if you build it yourself, and you'll have Windows 11, just like the handheld, and you'll be able to play all of your PC games. If you want a handheld, skip the PC and buy a Steam Deck, or some of the other handhelds with SteamOS on them. It's built on Linux, so no Windows 11, and it's cheap compared to most of the handhelds out there. And that brings up one other possibility to consider. Maybe it's price. Maybe Xbox and Asus are going to undercut the market by making this a very inexpensive handheld. Laura. I personally don't think this is likely to happen. Remember, the Xbox ROG Ally is essentially a reskin of an existing product.
Exactly.
Their cheapest version of the ROG Ally is around $600. I assume that both Xbox and Asus don't want to lose a lot of money on this new device. Asus is great at hardware, and I'm sure they have already done the cost reduction on the handheld. You see, with hardware, the post-launch plans are almost more important than building the initial product, because in hardware, the game is price reduction of all of the parts, because then you can make a profit in years 2, 3, and 4 of your console. The ROG Ally has already been through this process, so it's very unlikely the price is going to be the thing that they will be able to lower. It's unlikely to be the thing that brings gamers to buying the handheld. The Xbox Anywhere message sounds great on the surface, but in reality, it's just marketing. It's style with no substance. Unfortunately, I don't think marketing's going to be enough. There's literally no reason to buy this handheld.
Agreed.
Obviously, as one of the founding members of the Xbox team, I'm not pleased with where things are today.
I'm not either.
I don't love watching all of the value that I helped create slowly get eroded away. I'm sad because from my perspective, it looks like Xbox has no desire or literally can't ship hardware anymore. So this partnership is about a slow exit from the hardware business completely.
Yes.
Personally, I think Xbox hardware is dead.
Yes. That's what it is.
The plan appears to be to just drive everybody to Game Pass. And let's be clear, it has a lot of value. I'm thinking that might be why they decided to charge $80 for Outer Worlds 2. The developers have been clear that they didn't make that decision. And here's the thing, maybe it will work. Xbox has a deep portfolio. The remake of Oblivion was obviously a huge success, and they can continue to outsource that work to external companies and make a lot of money releasing their older games. Older games from an era when Xbox knew how to build them. But what is the long-term plan? Where are the new hits? What will make people care about the Xbox 25 years from now?
Nothing at all.
I was excited to see Clockwork Evolution in the showcase, but will something like that be enough? Do they have more? Next year marks the 25th anniversary of the Xbox, and I'm sure that they will have some big announcements and plans for honoring the milestone. Maybe next year is the year. Maybe next year is the year that the fog will clear and all of us will see the beauty in these latest announcements. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. If you like this video, you might be interested in another video I did called Why Xbox Lost. In it, I talk about all the cultural changes that led to what you're seeing today.
Thank you for everything, Laura Fryer. You really did what needed to be done. I wish you would have did it earlier, but hey, beggars can be choosy, right? It is what it is. Xbox is dead. It's a wrap for that console. It's a wrap for truly Xbox as a brand, honestly. Everything is the lines are going to be so blurred, everything is going to be so misconstrued that people aren't going to know what Xbox really is or what Xbox is trying to do. I think it's going to be more confusing than something that, hell, even they're going to be willing to deal with. I personally just think that they're trying to transition away from the console. I think what they're doing right now is they're just trying to get everybody on board with this, whatever we call an Xbox is an Xbox. But as Laura stated, just slapping a sticker on a goddamn device does not make it a goddamn Xbox. I'm sorry, it's not. It's not. The Asus ROG Xbox Ally is nothing more than a ROG Ally. That's all it is. Hate it or love it, like it or don't, it is what it is. Laura Fryer was very right. Ekim, what kind of pisses me off about Perfect Dark is Crystal Dynamics could have had all their devs working on the next Tomb Raider instead. They really couldn't because they don't own the IP. Amazon owns that IP. And Amazon has somebody else working on Tomb Raider. So, nah, they didn't really even have the choice in that case. Not at all. Appreciate you, Ekim. Or Mike. Spelled backwards. Appreciate you, Mike. All right. I guess that is it for me. I'm going to try and get about 2 or 3 more hours in Death Stranding. And then I'm taking my ass to bed. Y'all niggas be easy. Have a great rest of your night. And I appreciate y'all stopping through and chilling and hanging out. Hit that like button before y'all exit the building, though. Please.